Welcome to Short View Trading. This is your morning market hit for Monday, 29th of November. What matters today and this week for traders? Well, what a day that was on Friday. Very dramatic moves in global stock markets. Looks as though volatility is very much back in the frame, back in these financial markets. The S&P down over 2% on the session. The Nasdaq also down 2% and change. Whilst over in Europe, the moves were much more meaningful. The DAX and the CAC both are off over 4% in Friday's session. And then some of the commodities much more marked than that even. Of course, you often get higher volatility, higher beta moves in commodities, and oil price certainly did that on Friday, down a double-digit percentage. But then even the likes of some of the classic safe havens, gold only just flat, very modestly up, silver off 2%. None of those providing much of a safe haven trade of any significance. Whilst Bitcoin, that other purported safe haven, was down 6% on Friday, albeit it's bounced pretty meaningfully over the weekend. And indeed, the only real safe haven, US 10-year bonds, the government bond area with yields down sharply on the US 10-year, the bond price up meaningfully. And naturally driving all that was the news flow on the Omicron variant, but worth bearing in mind that came during the Thanksgiving holiday season. So the shortened session on Friday, with many people still off on Friday over in the States, and volumes are very light. You can see on the chart in front of you now, NYSE single stock volumes on Friday, particularly low. The E-mini volumes picked up, but again, they weren't aggressively higher. They were higher and meaningfully so, but not dramatically higher as you would have expected in a move like that on Friday. So volumes lighter than expected, slightly shortened trading, maybe exaggerating the move, of course down to that Omicron variant news flow. But of course, bearing in mind that all of that's come after 2 or 3 weeks consolidation in these equity markets, and potentially will be a bit of a flush of the week hand. And with those moves in markets, we've seen some dramatic pickup in volatility measures. You can see the VIX chart in front of you now, notably high levels relative to recent months. Same sort of comments about the VVIX, which is of course the volatility of the VIX, also at very high levels. So the question is, what do you do with this market now? And indeed, if you look at some of our short-term market timing models, you look at the technical model on the global equity market, the technical scoring systems back on buy, or you look at a model that measures realized volatility relative to implied in volatility. In other words, what's actually happened relative to what do people fear. Both of those models are back on buy, as you can see in the charts that we've been putting up in front of you. And both of those are giving an encouraging message. So the key question now is, what do you do? Do you continue with the concern about the variant of concern? Will that add to more volatility in markets near term? Or indeed, is that big one-day wobble providing an opportunity to move long on short-term 1 to 2 week trades? And to see how we're playing this, please see today's Daily Rag available to subscribers via the website. Or if you'd like a free trial, simply click on the link below for a free 7-day trial of the Daily Rag. We'll send it to you for free for 7 trading sessions. All you need to do is put in your name and email address, no credit card details required. So what are we watching today and this week? There's an awful lot going on. It's the first week of the month as we get into December at the back end of this week. So we've got big US data out with non-farm payrolls on Friday. Over 500,000 is the consensus. A big print, a bit like we had last month in October. Added to that, you've got ISM manufacturing on Wednesday. That's always important. ISM non-manufacturing on Friday. ADP employment on Wednesday. All sorts of key data out in the US and indeed globally over the course of this week, including market PMIs across the globe as we get later on into this week. So plenty of macro to focus on. Also, Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell up in front of Congress on Tuesday and Wednesday. That'll be watched closely. Added to which you've got OPEC Plus meeting back on Thursday this week. That'll be watched closely as well. Will they continue with that 0.4 million barrels per day extra monthly supply that they've been promising and delivering on in most months, in recent months since their deal in July? Over and above that, you've also got the discussions with Iran, the negotiations starting once again. If Iran comes back into the Western fold, of course, that's an awful lot of oil that will come onto the markets next year. While elsewhere, there are all sorts of central bankers giving speeches across the globe over the course of this week. So that's it from us. That's your morning market hit for Monday, 29th of November. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe on YouTube. Simply search for Short View Trading and click on the subscribe button, or follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter and or Facebook. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, trade well.